Hey everybody, and welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Chef AJ, and today I'm going to be talking to two remarkable young ladies named Nina and Randa Nelson. And no, you're not seeing double, they are identical twins. I've known them for about 15 years, and they've grown into these gorgeous young ladies that are social media stars, and they have a wonderful story of recovery from a very serious, I guess it would be called a disease that a lot of people, especially young people, teenagers, suffer from. And I'm going to hear about their recovery. And first of all, welcome Nina and Randa. Randa is on the left, Nina is on the right. And it took me about 15 years, but now I figured it out because Randa has dimples and Nina doesn't. If somebody had pointed that out to me years ago. So you guys are remarkable because you pretty much were raised vegan, right?
Yeah, vegan since birth.
That is so cool. Well, let me ask you, where do you get your protein? I'm just kidding, of course. I mean, if you don't mind, usually I don't ask my guests their age, but I believe it's okay to ask you that. I think you're 20, is that correct? Or 21?
We are 23.
You're 23. You don't look a day. That's wow. You're legal now. That's amazing. I remember when you were 5 years old. You know, in case you guys don't know who they are, their parents. They're basically plant-based royalty because their parents are Jeff and Sabrina Nelson, the founder of VegSource, who put on this wonderful conference every year called the Healthy Lifestyle Expo. And I remember you guys like about 5 or 6 years old, you know, in your pajamas at night. And now look at you guys. You guys are making it happen. So first tell us what you do, because I really didn't introduce you fully to the extent of, you know, I know you guys are singers and actresses and you have a huge YouTube following, but what do you guys do?
Okay, so we do commercials and we have a YouTube channel called Nina and Randa, and it's about to hit 500,000 subscribers probably in the next 2 days. Before the new year's up, and we post videos on we have health and lifestyle, but we also have a big comedy element where we like to entertain people and do challenges. So it's kind of just traveling. Yeah, travel vlogs. It's a place where girls maybe our age or a bit younger or even older can relate and get advice and learn about healthy lifestyle, how to cure their acne
in a fun way.
And also just about positivity and
well, that's nice. That's really cool because you know, I'm old enough, obviously, to be your mother. I'm the same age as your parents. But I would think young girls need positive role models that are not anorexic, that are not on drugs. But you guys, that's so cool that you do that, you know? So thank you for that. Because you'll definitely reach people the people that I reach are between 40 and 60, generally women. So this is great because you can inspire them to eat healthier, maybe even go vegan. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, countless people when we've met them.
Oh yeah, when we go to events, literally 20 people in one day will be like,
vegan because of you. Yeah. I cured my acne.
That is so cool. Well, that's one of the reasons I actually wanted to interview you, because you don't have a book yet. I probably see that in your future. I can you know, that would be amazing. But I even though I've known you, it's not like we really have hung out, but we were invited to your house for Thanksgiving dinner, and your mother's just an amazing, amazing cook, by the way, one of the most delicious meals. And I was floored because I knew you guys were vegan, and I know your brother Willie, but when I think of Willie, I think of junk food because I remember being with him at events in Sacramento where all he wanted to do was go to the bakery and eat a lot of junk. And so I never paid really attention to how you guys eat. And I was impressed that you eat just like me for a different reason, but I could not believe how 23-year-old women could eat not a vegan diet, but the most perfect perfect diet. And you have a reason that you do that, but I was really impressed because you really do eat this way. So talk about, first of all, why you eat this way and what happened to you guys. And if you have a photo, show it. If not, tell us the link of how we can see, because you guys just didn't have a few zits. You guys... They always say never work with kids or animals, and here I am working with both, but that is hilarious. He couldn't have, that's Jackie Chan, perfectly, couldn't have done it on cue. So you guys had really bad acne. I mean, this was not like a couple of zits that you could cover up. And if you don't have a picture, we'll put a link.
I do have a picture. I can get it real quick.
Right, because this was really, really bad. And as a person or as a woman or as a young woman, this is not something that would make you happy.
One, it's terrible on your self-esteem and your self-confidence.
It's
painful, and also it makes it impossible to book jobs. No one can hire you.
But I feel like not only just acting in the acting world, I feel like you need confidence to get any job.
Professional
It's
job.
not just acting. Right. So I feel like if you're not confident with who you are, you can't put your best foot forward in anything you do. Right. It's not. It was just bad for every part of life.
Your face is your fortune. Maybe back it up just a little bit. So, I mean, I can see it's not clear, but I can see the little red.
It's
not
like
little.
there. Can you see it like that?
That's bad. That's bad. So we'll put a link so they can, because your story's been written. Even in the Daily Mail, that was huge. It was written there. And one of the cures was listening to one of my favorite people, my mentor, the guy that basically cured your mom, Sabrina, and that was Dr. John Mcdougall. So, tell us when it happened, how it happened, and what you did to reverse it.
Okay, so the acne started about like 6 months before that picture, and we would take antibiotics. So for like months, I was taking doxycycline, and it would like cure the acne for a bit, and so like for a month or a few weeks, the acne would be cleared. Like the scars would have healed a bit.
Right away after
then,
a month.
after a month, like the next period, basically, when the hormones spiked, the acne would come back even worse. So it was like, for like months, it was coming back even worse. And then at some point, like the antibiotics completely stopped working, didn't work anymore. And we were like, oh my God, like what do we do? The next step the doctor told us was like, Accutane, because like our skin was so bad. They were like you're gonna get scars if you don't you need to do this fast. Like here's the pamphlet. Like come see us as soon as possible. We saw like the top UCLA specialists, like so many dermatologists. We were getting facials like every week, spending thousands of dollars and like on products and so many different stuff. And we even tried low carb diet.
Like, oh my God! Like you tried a low carb vegan diet or just the low
carb vegan diet?
That must have been what did you eat on a low carb vegan diet? You must have starved.
It was like quinoa. It was like the low glycemic. It was basically just like quinoa and avocado and like maybe like one piece of fruit. And we tried that for a few days, and it was just miserable. I lost like 7 pounds in a week. I was just like crying.
Oh my God.
So like I couldn't eat anything.
That's crazy. So you saw these experts. I'm assuming they're not plant based. This happened around what age were you guys? So this
20? Yeah, we were about to turn 21. It was the summer when we were 20. So I remember we were driving up to San Francisco visiting my grandparents, and it was like the worst my acne had ever been, like just so bad. And my dad was like, well, you know what? Why don't you check Dr. Mcdougall's site and see if he has anything on acne? And I was just like, okay, like sure. I checked his website, and lo and behold, he had some studies on acne and how diet does affect acne, especially like the soy and even like healthy fat. It can also be a trigger for acne, or especially oil. And we were just like, and I was like, really? Like, okay, so all it's saying I should be eating is like mainly potatoes, which is what I was like avoiding because I thought that was gonna spike my insulin. So I was like, I can eat potatoes? Like, okay, cool. And so I started doing it that weekend up at my grandparents' house, and the acne stopped getting worse. It was like shrinking already. The inflammation was going down, and I knew, I was like, oh man, like I think this is gonna work. And it was one of those things, we just kept doing it, and it kept getting smaller and smaller. And even though like the picture that I showed you was like 3 days after eating Mcdougall, and before, like 3 days before that, the zits were like even more swollen, like the size of like which wart. Sorry,
that's okay. That's an incredible a testimonial. Because you guys have been vegan since birth. So what were you eating before finding out that avoiding fats and oils was going to cure your acne?
We were still eating like pretty healthy, but we definitely had like vegan junk food once in a while. Like we'd have like, I would eat like vegan, or not Oreos, but like a vegan version of that, or like when you go out to like Follow Your Heart, get like like something with oil. Our mom never really cooked with oil growing up. It may have been in like some dishes, like pasta sauces, like out of convenience, but we still had like avocados, Clif Bars, peanut butter, and granted, like I'm sure we were eating lots of like burritos. I'm sure so much more low fat than the average person.
Sure.
But like for us, our genetics are predisposed to having acne-prone skin, so it was like any kind of fat really affects us.
Wow, so was it hard for you to switch? I mean, now the way you look, I'm sure it's pretty easy to stay compliant because you don't ever want to go back to that acne, especially because you guys are actresses. But was it hard at first to switch from, even eating the occasional peanut butter and soy food?
It was actually not hard to switch at all, because peanut butter, like I was one of those people that I'd get a box of dates and eat half a jar of peanut butter like in one sitting, and I'd feel so sick. And so like getting rid of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I never have to feel sick again. Like I would eat so much, stuff myself so much that I felt like disgusting. And and for me, like not that I had like tons of oils or tons of fats, but I did like instantly feel a difference. Like I never had that gross feeling. So it was like, it was easy. And knowing that like this is what I can eat this and I'm not gonna get acne, because I knew at the back of my head like it's gotta be something like that I'm eating. Like my mom cured her disease through diet. Like I knew it was diet. I just didn't know what because you wouldn't think like something like avocado or something like a healthy fat. Yeah. But like who would do that? Ultimately, I felt relieved like knowing that what foods I could eat that were gonna like clear my skin. So it was so easy.
Yeah. And you guys, your skin is beautiful now. So
thank you.
And has it stayed pretty much like this since you switched your diet?
When we switched our diet, it cleared up, but then there was a time where you were using like super oily products. It never got bad like to the extent that it was before, but I accidentally like used like an oily product and I didn't realize that even like oil in the product could affect my skin, so it broke out a bit, but then I realized, okay, I need to switch my face wash, and then it was fine. But it was never to the extent that it was before, ever. The only time I get like a zit or like a little breakout is like if I'm on my period or something. But like I don't know how to avoid that. Yeah.
So the doctors that you first saw, these experts at UCLA, did they say what caused it? Did they say it was a hormonal thing, or what was their diagnosis?
They were just like, oh, it's just your genetics, like to have bad skin. Yeah. It's not. And we're like, is it something we're eating? They're like, no. I mean, you don't eat chocolate. Like, you don't have dairy, so it's not. That's like the main trigger. So they didn't really, they didn't have anything about that. They were just like, oh, try this product. There's topical, and even like oral stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you try birth control, and I'm like,
oh my, no. Well, Dr. Mcdougall to the rescue again, and you guys helped a friend of mine. So on Thanksgiving Day, I told you about my friend in Baltimore who has 2 identical twin daughters who are a little bit younger than you, 17, that had the exact same thing. And I told the mother, Sharon, about your story, and because they were eating not so much nuts, but like they loved avocado. Mm-hmm. And one of the daughters tried it, but you said that you can't just try it for a few weeks. That because it's a hormonal thing, you've got to go more than one cycle for it to really manifest. Mm-hmm. And she did it, and guess what? Her skin is clearing up now.
Oh,
right. But then the other daughter, who wasn't eating any added fat, was still having it. And you said that there's another component. You talked a little bit about the gluten. So talk about that.
Okay, so just like 2 or 3 months ago, like just as of recently, we were still getting like some like zits around our period, and we were like, oh, like what do? We feel like we eat so clean. And then a different doctor, Neil Bernard, Goldhammer.
Oh, Dr. My other hero, Dr. Goldhammer.
And he was like, well, for some people, like he's like, yeah, like fats and like eating like more potatoes is definitely like key, but for some people, like gluten can be a sensitivity because it affects the way your hormones react. And I was one of those people that would eat like a whole baguette for lunch, which like obviously a little bread here and there like isn't going to stop up your digestion, but I feel like I was definitely overdoing it. Too much of an extremist, couldn't like limit. And so I was like, okay, well, like I'll just get rid of it and see what happens. And after like 2 cycles, and even like I think it's like the 3rd or 4th cycle, like I just see even more of an improvement. So I'm like, okay, like I'm down for that. I'm already so clean. I mean, it was one of those things. It's not like it was giving like terrible breakouts. Yeah, or anything. The fat is the key. Yeah, but I was like, if I can be like ultimately perfect with my diet, I'm gonna do that. We don't promote that as much as like the low fat, because low fat I feel like is so much more.
Right. Did you guys find, because from what I'm pretty sure you guys never struggled with your weight, but do you find that now because you're eating low fat, you have to eat more food because it's of the lower caloric density of the foods you're eating?
Do you find that you need to eat more? I just find that I eat when I'm hungry. I eat till I'm full, and I don't really worry about anything else. Like if I'm more hungry, I'll eat more, and if on another day I'm not as hungry, like I'll listen to my body. I think that I like worry less, as in like it's like when I used to have that like gross feeling, I would just be like, oh, I feel so bad. I need to work out. I just feel so disgusting. Like what do I do? So I don't know if I have to eat maybe more. To me, like it makes me feel better. And also like just these types of food, like they're so like you feel light, and like but I also have enough energy to do everything I want to do. So I think for me it's like it's like a nice feeling. I do eat more actually. Yeah. Like for me, if I eat a meal, like I'm one of those people, like, I need, like, 10 dried figs, like, afterwards. Like,
I remember after Thanksgiving dinner, I can't remember which one of you were eating applesauce and oats right after dinner.
Oh, yeah, I eat applesauce and oats and raisins, like after every single meal. Like, so it's kind of like I'm eating a dessert every meal.
Well, what you said, I listen to my body, I eat when hungry, and I stop when full. You take that for granted, but I don't know about you guys if your followers have a history of discordant eating like bulimia or anorexia, but the people that are my followers, that would be a foreign concept to them, because what I hear is, well, how do you know when you're hungry, and how do you know when to stop when full? You know, it can be taught, it can be learned, you know, if you eat the right foods.
Totally. Yeah. It's like you don't see like a deer out in the wild being like, you know, overweight or being like a not good size because it just eats when it eats the natural food, and when humans it's actually eating what it's designed to eat, whereas if we're eating like Cheetos and stuff with like so much processed fat and sugar, it's we want more and more so and more. Addictive to the brain. But when you're eating like the simple foods that you're meant to, you don't overeat.
You You guys are wise beyond your year. I feel like I'm talking to Dr. Lyle. I swear to God, because that's you speak the truth. If we eat the diet we're designed to eat, we can look and feel like you. It's amazing. So here's.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Please go.
If people might be like, oh, that's so not true. Like they don't know what they're talking about. But until they try it, like you won't experience the results or like what it feels like to. You won't experience what it feels like unless you actually try it.
Yeah. Make sure you guys sit close together because I just worried. Like I'm thinking like this is such a great interview. What if you're not centered? Because something, you know, but it's like what if we get half of each twin? That's like one twin. So, you know, so do you guys? Your parents are the founders of VegSource. www.vegsource.com. It's a great website. Just all kinds of information there. Do you guys ever read it? Because the reason I ask is because a few years ago, your dad did a story about me. Because 5 years ago, I gave up all added fat. So on January 2nd, 2017, I will have not eaten any nuts, seeds, or avocado. And I got completely dragged through the mud on that by the followers of that blog post because they said I was killing people and telling them, you know, not to eat nuts. Now, are you guys, your followers are probably different. So are you like being bashed now by medical doctors saying this is terrible of you to, because you're not telling people not to eat that. You're telling your truth, your story, what worked for you in curing your acne. But are you getting people like writing you saying, well, where are you going to get your fat and your omega-3 fatty acid? And it's irresponsible to tell people not to eat added fat. Has that happened or maybe not?
We definitely get people like writing on our videos or like sending us messages like, oh, but you need omega-3 like fatty stuff. Like we get that all the time. But most of the people like who write to us are like, oh wow, I tried what you said, it worked. Yeah. And even if people like hate on us, we're like, we know what works for us. Like if you don't want to do it, then that's fine. But live your life. We mainly have positive feedback, and even someone commenting a negative thing like that, someone else replies and be like, well, you should just like give it a shot. Like more people are pretty open to it, maybe because it's the younger generation or something.
Well, with 500,000 followers, you're probably going to get a few people, you know, saying stuff. I just wondered because, like, and I'll ask this: well, where do you get your omega-3 fatty acids?
Where do we? I don't worry about it. That's the thing. I think about it. Some people are like, oh, like I put my stuff in Chronometer. It says that I need like 6% more vitamin C. I'm like, people in the wild weren't putting their food in a Chronometer. They were just eating.
I know. You guys are great. That is so cool. So would you mind telling our viewers like what you eat in a day? Now you each can take a turn, and also what you do, because I know you guys probably aren't obsessive about it, but I think you guys exercise. I mean, you look pretty fit.
Yeah, we love exercising, but I wouldn't say excessively. Okay. What we eat in a day? Well, typically for breakfast. You say what you had for breakfast and also. Okay, so for breakfast, I had oatmeal with I usually have some frozen fruit to cool it off, like mango or blueberries or even a banana, cherries, any frozen fruit that I have on hand. And then maybe a piece of fruit if I'm still hungry. What about you? Okay, for me, I would probably like chop up some dates or raisins and put it in the oats. Like actually, I don't even cook my oats. I like it uncooked.
Nice.
With unsweetened applesauce and mix it up, and it tastes like a pie.
Nina, it sounds like you have a little bit more of a sweet tooth than Randa. I don't know.
I think I eat like. I think my brain like needs more sugar or something. I'm one of those people like if I don't have sugar, I'm like. Well, for me personally, I kind of like to have a full stomach, so I like my volume to be more, and Nina kind of likes it to be more dense. She likes a smaller portion, a smaller portion with more calories.
This is amazing. I have 23-year-olds that actually understand calorie density. This is what I try to teach to all my clients, and it just goes over their head. And you guys just know this stuff.
Calorie density is a lifesaver.
Oh my God.
What about for lunch? For lunch, we'll probably have beans and rice, vegetables, and as like the sauce. Our favorite condiment is lemon. And a little bit of like pink Himalayan salt, not too much because no bueno. But like that's. And then if I'm still hungry, I'll have like a piece of fruit or something as dessert, or maybe even before my meal. And then for dinner, typically I might just have rice and beans again, just because it's like our favorite food factor and it's like all cooked up. But other times we might have something like sweet potato. I like sweet potato fries where you just like
steam them up, and then cut them up and put it on the silpat and just bake them.
Right.
And then I like put some lemon on it, and I think I eat sometimes like 10 potatoes in one sitting. I think I do eat like more calories, but like for like a smaller size.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you guys could eat at my house because we pretty much eat almost exactly alike, you know?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I mean, and people say on YouTube, like, because you do what I eat in a day, it's like, oh, you eat the same thing every day.
That's good.
And I'm like, I like eating the same thing every day, and it's actually healthier because your body, like, if you're eating all these like different foods every day, you actually can overeat on that. I mean, not that like I'm worried about overeating,
Right.
but also it's just easier on your body to digest if it's used to the same
And let's
thing.
be real, it's mostly just a convenience thing.
It's just
It's
convenience.
just easier to be
Yeah.
like.
But you can also back it up with, well, it's healthier anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well,
just
also, because you're right, not that you guys ever had eating problems, but variety stimulates overeating. And I agree. I think keeping your food simple and eating this, I mean, you don't have to eat the exact same type of potato or the exact same
Right.
type of bean or rice, but I think that it's great to keep your variety limited, especially if you struggle with weight or things like that. So it's like you guys know what I teach, just like you know it already. You could go out and teach this without like having to have suffered the consequences of not knowing it. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. I feel lucky. Like, especially knowing my calorie density, it's just like, it just makes it easy.
in a way too, like the acne kind of like saved me from like falling down the rabbit hole of just eating like junk food.
Right.
And I don't know, I just like I felt better in every aspect of my life, so it's been like a blessing in disguise, really.
Right. And so if we go to your YouTube channel, Nina and Randa, we can see some of these What I Eat in a Day videos, right?
Yeah, I have like a whole playlist on what I eat in a day, or like why we're vegan and all of our acne stories.
We probably have like 20 of them.
Yeah, but along with that, we also have like tons of entertainment stuff. So it's kind of interesting to see people come from that realm and then like
Right.
decide they want to go vegan. So
That's
yeah, so
a-
people come to our channel for entertainment, and then they find what I eat in a day, and they're like, hey, wait, I want to do that. So,
They come for entertainment and they leave with education.
yeah,
Exactly. Who typically follows you? I would imagine it's mostly younger people. I mean,
It's
Right.
like 30 to 40, maybe like close to 40% 18 to 24-year-old girls, and then maybe some 13 to 17, and then even some older women as well.
In their 30s.
Mainly women. Yeah, and then like 10% male, so
Right.
really not that many guys.
right. Well, you know, that's unusual to me that would be, because you guys are so beautiful that you would think they would follow you just because you guys are hot. But you know, that's pretty cool. Do girls ever write you because they have struggles with food? Either maybe they're overweight or anorexic or bulimic. Do you get those kind of
Oh
followers?
yeah, we get every day we get
An
things
email.
saying. Sometimes people are like, oh, like you cured me of my anorexia, like eating like this way has cured me, and then some people are like, yeah, like I need help, like I feel like I
wanna
can't
go
eat
vegan,
anything.
my parents
won't let me. So we get like tons of emails
Every
across
day.
the board every day. Yeah.
Do you guys ever do like a Ask Nina and Randa kind of live thing? Like, because if you don't, let's do a Facebook Live. I'll shoot it because I would love to know in real time. Like, because that question I get a lot. I mean, I don't get it a lot, but I get it sometimes where younger people write me saying, I want to be vegan, but my parents won't let me. And I'm like,
Right.
well, I don't know what to tell you, you know?
Yeah, that's a tough one to answer. But yeah, we'd love to do
Yeah,
it.
we'd love to. We
Yeah.
do
Well,
actually
what,
do some
what do
live
you
streams.
what do you suggest to somebody like that? Because I mean, I think that's really sad because the parents won't let them. But how do you, if you're a kid that you don't have a car and what do you do?
I'd say the best key is to get your parents educated, because if they're on board, they're going to support you, because they're going to want to do it themselves. We always recommend Dr. Mcdougall, because it's like if they don't want to believe us or like
Right.
some people like
Online.
people online, then it's like, read the START solution.
Yeah.
that pretty much explains it in itself.
That's
like
a
how
great-
could you not-
That's
How
a
could
great
you not
suggestion,
believe
or maybe watch Forks Over Knives or something to
Right,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to watch something.
That is it. Did you ever have like what was the most unusual question you ever got, or a funny question that maybe somebody wrote you that was just
So probably like, there's some oil in my candles. Like if I like use the oil, if I have my candle on, will the oil from the candle like go onto my face? And I was like,
You're
I
fine.
was like, they're like, this may be a stupid question. I'm like,
yeah, it is a stupid question. But that's
But,
funny. That is very funny. So do you guys worry at all about these omega-3s? Do you take a little flax seeds or chia seeds, or is it just completely no added fat because you don't want the breakouts to happen again?
I do not worry about it in the slightest. The thing is, like, I still have oats, I still have rice, and
That's true.
beans. They all have a natural amount of fat, so I'm not worried about it at all.
Right. Oats are about almost 20% fat, by the way. Well, it's good that you guys are, and so here's the thing. So again, playing devil's advocate, your diet sounds amazing, but I haven't heard a lot of vegetables in there. I've heard a lot of fruit and a lot of grains and a lot of legumes.
No. When we have rice and beans, there's always vegetables in it. When there's sweet potatoes, there's always vegetables. It is definitely in my meal.
No, we said beans and rice and vegetables.
Yeah, I always have vegetables with my meals.
Do you guys have a favorite vegetable?
Broccoli.
Oh my God, it's so funny. You guys really are twins, because this is the second time you did it with sweet potatoes where you say the same thing at the exact same time. That must be cool. When I was little, I wanted a twin. Do you guys like having a twin, or are there days you just wish you'd go away?
We love having a twin. I feel like I should.
No,
I do. Of course I do. I'm saying I feel like I should actively think about it more that I have a twin. But, it's so normal to me. But, of course, I think about it every day.
Wow. Well, like if you, I know you probably don't get separated a lot. I'm sure you do things separately, but like if let's say if Nina were somewhere else and she had a pain, would you know? Like, because I've heard of that.
There was times when like you I had like a scared feeling, and then you were like, oh my God, I just ran into like X.
Yeah.
And you were, not that he's an ex-boyfriend, like he was just like this really like strange guy, and I was like, I was just thinking about him and how freaked out I was. So we're not really apart that much. The only really times are with boys, which doesn't happen that often.
Oh my God! You know what I was just thinking? The best way is for you guys to date Siamese twins, and then you never have to be separated ever again.
Oh, I don't know if I'm into that. Yeah, it's not.
I'm just kidding. You guys are adorable. What's on the horizon for you guys? I mean, I think a book would be the best, honestly, because you have such a great story to tell,
Well, we will see about the future. We don't want to give away too much because we don't want to jinx it, but definitely keep growing our channel. Yeah, our goal right now is to just continue to grow our channel, grow our channel and keep producing content that people want to see. And see where that takes us.
We have some other stuff in the works, but we do
have some stuff in the works, but we're not gonna.
You don't have to say. Well, that's fantastic. So you have a brother too, and there's a third, and I think it's so funny. His name is Willie Nelson, which is I love not the real Willie Nelson, but I'm talking about the country singer Willie Nelson. Is he doing anything to make the family more prevalent?
No.
Yeah.
He's actually been working on his channel recently. He's been posting lots of videos lately, and he's almost got 7,000 subscribers. So
wow, that's about what I have, and I've been doing this a long time. What is his channel, and what does he talk about?
His channel vlogs and entertainment. He has some vegan videos, and the name of the channel is Word from Willie, and he's just going with the flow and posting any kind of video he wants at this point. He actually had an interesting story where he started, like you said earlier, he was eating lots of junk food, going to Veggie Grill with his ex, and kind of got into that routine of just eating a lot of junk. Or when he went to Europe, it's hard to eat healthy unless you cook your own food. And so he kind of put on a little weight and wasn't as healthy, and then about a year ago, he decided to eat low fat, just like we do, and he started exercising, trimming out. He had his own transformation, and so hopefully he'll make a video on that, because we keep telling him to, because he used he really has transformed himself. But even now, now he eats some fats and stuff now and then. But even now, it's easy for him to maintain the same weight.
Well, your dad, too. I mean, your dad, I would never have considered your dad overweight before, but he went on this plan, and he's just really lean, and he came up.
I remember, actually, when we went to Europe for, 6 weeks, the year before we came back, and I was like, oh, my God, where's Dad? He's really small right now.
That is absolutely incredible. So we know what you eat for a day. How much exercise do you guys do, and how often?
Okay. Well, I would say we exercise every single day, but I would say I don't really keep track, but probably around 4 to 5 days a week, maybe 6 if we're lucky, I guess. But usually for an hour and a half, and it's kind of
Working out for us, so we just like to like go on bike rides, or like it's more of like a leisurely cardio type thing, and then maybe on some days we push ourselves a bit. But like to me, I feel like I could be doing so much more. But
Yeah.
I'm also a perfectionist.
Oh, well, that's because you guys are Virgos. Virgos are perfectionists.
I know.
Oh.
I'm nuts, guys.
Yeah, we're crazy.
You are. You guys are just adorable. Do you have? Are your friends following a plant-based or vegan diet, or most of them, not?
We actually do have some friends that have gone vegan. We have some friends that already are vegan, and that's been a common thing. So
Yeah.
we do actually have some friends that are vegan.
Totally, we have lots of friends that are vegan.
Mhm.
Yeah, lots, actually.
Even like my boyfriend, he's not like fully vegan or anything, but when he came to me, he was like low carb. He was like afraid of bread, like potatoes, like what?
Rice.
And like we would like make him meals, and he's like, I can't finish this all. Like this is too much food. And now even he like has come around and he eats. He knows like like obviously
Starches.
meat is not healthy, and so he eats like way more starch. And so I think that people just like they see how much we enjoy our food, and they see like how happy we are, and I think they naturally respond like, oh yeah, like that seems like it works. So
Growing up vegan, was there ever a problem either in school or from a teacher or from other family members saying that this is crazy, your parents are killing you, or was there ever a problem? Because sometimes kids don't like to be different, and so what was it like growing up vegan?
Growing up as kids, I really did not even notice. It was just like, yeah, I'm vegan. Like, it was so normal because
people thought it was interesting. No one made fun of us.
Yeah.
And if they did, like they would have gotten in trouble. Like we went to a school where like that was
bullying was not
okay.
tolerated. The
Wow.
only time I could really think of that I felt like different or maybe more so embarrassed was in high school, because guys would kind of make fun of us, like, oh, like you're not like you don't eat meat, like that's well I'm gonna get you to eat some meat, like or they like in a creepy way, or they want to change you. And that's the only time I really kind of felt weird about it, and I didn't want to tell people I was vegan, but of course my friends would always be like, oh, she's vegan, like. And no one really cared, to be honest.
That was just like a short year, maybe 6-month phase, and then I was like, I'm vegan, guys. Actually, like with my like ex-boyfriend, like before we were dating or whatever, I liked him so much that he's like, oh, like I just got some like chicken tacos. This is so embarrassing on my part, but he's like, oh, I got some chicken tacos. Like, you want some? And I was just like, no, thanks. Like, I didn't even say like, oh, I'm vegan, like because I thought like, oh, if I say that, like he's not gonna like me.
No. What
It's
is
so
that?
stupid.
Can you help girls with their self-esteem? Because you guys seem to have, you're not arrogant. You're kind people. You're lovely people, but yet you seem to have really good self-esteem. And I see so many young people that don't, that are people pleasers in that way. Like what you just said, that's a great story that you brought up, Nina, because I could see some of the children of the people that I work with, where if that happened to them and they were vegan, they would eat it just because they didn't want to risk.
Oh hell no, I'm not gonna eat it.
Right. So how can you help the younger people, or even older women, to get to that point where that's like, nope, not going to eat it. This is who I am. How did you guys? I know you have amazing parents, but how did you guys develop such a good, healthy self-esteem without being, arrogant? It's just a nice balance.
I definitely think having a twin actually does help, because you ultimately have you automatically have someone who's gonna back you up, and no one's really gonna question like two people.
Because it's always 2 against 1.
Yeah.
So no one's like, I feel like that's in itself like, oh, I don't want to.
But like in terms of self-esteem, I think that like even though we've come into this world together, I think ultimately like you have to be happy with yourself, and no one else can give you that happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And like just knowing that it's like our job and our responsibility to love ourselves and like appreciate ourselves, and just like to actively practice that, I guess, because like I'm not perfect, like I have low self-esteem days and boys hurt my feelings or whatever, but at the end of the day, like I'm focusing on myself and I'm happy with myself. So
Well, but relating it back to like feeling like you don't have to like be pressured into eating things. I think now, when I show people like pictures of acne or whatever, like if they think it's weird, I don't eat oil, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what it does to my face. Like no questions asked. They're like, I completely understand.
That is a great tool. What you just said could help a lot of people. Not everybody has acne, but like for instance, I could show a picture when I was really fat. I'll keep it on my phone and say, this is what. That's a great technique.
Yeah, because no one's gonna be like, oh well, that's weird that you don't do that. They're gonna be like, oh, it works. I completely understand. And I also just like, if someone like, I feel like now that I'm like 23, and like even when I was like a few years ago, I was just like, if someone doesn't want to like me because I'm vegan,
then I don't want that person in my life anyway.
Like, it's better if I say
that I'm vegan sooner because it's like I want to know. Like, yeah, are you gonna judge me for it? If you do, like, peace. Like, I don't. And honestly, I feel like it's more of like embarrassing to like guys. I think like in the dating world, but like I find that most guys are like want to impress based. Like a guy that kind of likes me is like, oh, that's so interesting. Like I need to read up on that. Oh, I need to eat healthier. It's like, come on, they want to please the woman.
Wow.
I guess.
You guys are wise beyond your years. Nina, so is it difficult being in a mixed relationship, or do you think there's hope to get him to eventually go all the way?
Well, no, it's not that hard. I feel when he's with me, like he always eats vegan because like I make like we have food at our house. I make him food. Like we go to Whole Foods. Even he gets vegan pizza. Even when we're going to get pizza, he's like, yeah, I like the vegan one better. The only time I think he eats like meat and that kind of stuff, is like if he's with his friends and stuff, and somebody else has like offered it to him. But I mean, I hope that one day, like I always just like press like like just be the healthiest you. Like I just want him to be healthy. I'm not like you need to do this. Maybe I do that sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because when I've been married for almost 22 years now to my husband Charles, and he was not vegan when I met him. I mean, if I was dating somebody today, and I'm much older than you, I probably wouldn't date somebody now that wasn't vegan. But back then, it was like I he wasn't vegan, and I said that's fine. I said, but if we get married, the house is vegan, the wedding's vegan, and the kids are vegan. And
totally.
Really within met him in 92. We were married in 95 and so the house was vegan. If he wanted any of that stuff, he had to get it somewhere else. But then in 2001, thanks to your conference, the Healthy Lifestyle Expo, he heard Dr. Mcdougall speak, as did my sister, and they went vegan the next meal. So, so
I want him to listen to like Mcdougall talk. But the thing is, he knows that it's the healthiest.
Right.
Like he knows. So
that's great.
I don't know. I can't make him like change.
Cool. So who have you guys? You're so young, but if you know this right now, who have been your greatest influences in life? Like for me, I would say Dr. Mcdougall, Dr. Goldhammer, Dr. Lyle. These, my grandfather. You guys are so young. There's much more to come. But so as of now, who have been your greatest influences that have made you guys such amazing young women and role models?
I would say my biggest influences are my parents. Yeah, like as much as I hate to admit it, I mean, I don't even hate to admit it, I need their validation for everything in my life. Like, I trust their opinion so much, and like, they can convince me to do anything, which is good and bad maybe, but yeah, they're definitely my biggest role model. Yeah, I mean, even like with what we do, like our parents were like, oh, if acting and this doesn't work out, you can always, be professional vegans. We were like, no, like that's your thing, but it's kind of like naturally happened just because it's our life, and with our acting story, like we couldn't not share it with people, so that doesn't fall far from the truth. Yeah, and I can't really think of any other major influences as much as them. I'm sure there are, but.
Well, you guys definitely have extraordinary parents, and your mom is the strongest person I've ever met because I mean, she was literally run over by a truck and lived, and she's just amazing, and we'll have to interview her about that sometime. I mean, just hearing her story gave me PTSD, and this woman is walking and alive. And
I had major PTSD. Oh, it was awful for all of us, and I actually met my boyfriend within the time of this happening. It was so weird.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are singers as well, musicians. So what do you like better, singing, acting, playing the guitar? If you have a favorite, or just doing your YouTube channel? What's your favorite thing to do?
I would say that I don't have a favorite because I like that I'm able to do multiple different things because it's all creative. And I like that Randa likes that she's multi. No, oh my god. No, I sing like with my spare time. Like it's all valuable and like artistic. I like it all, and I don't think I could pick a favorite because I would miss every single one of them. Yeah, true. Can't have one without the other. Right. Yeah.
Well, they should have a sitcom based on you guys, like these vegan twins, and from a crazy. Not that your family's crazy, but I think that would be a great. I think that would be a great story. I would definitely watch that.
We love that.
Well, if anybody out there is watching, then give these girls a show, and then you can have me. I'll be a guest star. I can be the crazy old aunt that comes along. That is so cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you guys are great. You're wise beyond your years. I was just so impressed when I really sat down to eat with you that there were people that were less than half my age that ate like me for a different reason. And I felt like a real like kinship with you because now we can eat together and we don't have to feel bad that we're not putting nuts and tahini and avocado all over our food, you know? So this is great. And I made you a pie that you love because I felt so bad because on Thanksgiving, I mean, I had heard your story, but I didn't know if this was something that you were going to continue. I knew how you reversed your acne, but I didn't know if this was something you had to keep doing to keep the acne at bay. So I brought a dessert to dinner that did have nuts. Now, I didn't eat it. And then when you didn't eat it, I felt really bad that I didn't make something for you, which is why just this week I did finally make you a pie that you could eat. And then maybe sometime we can get together and either for your channel or my channel, I'll teach you how to make it because it has 5 ingredients. And your dad said it was like one of the most delicious things he ever ate. So
yeah. I filmed myself eating it, and like the whole time I was eating, I was like, everyone's like, okay, Nina, we get it. Like, whoa. I'm like, I haven't had pie in 2 years, okay? Like, I'm allowed to do this.
Well, thank you so much. So, again, your channel on YouTube is Nina and Randa. Is there any other places people can look for you or follow you or ask you questions if they want to reverse their acne or just find out how to be extraordinary young vegan women?
We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Nina and Randa, and we also have personal Instagrams, Nina Nelson and Randa Nelson. So all just like the main social media, I guess.
Yeah, nice.
Wait, well, another thing that's crazy, and I don't know if you've talked about this before, that the same diet that you eat and that we eat is actually like really good for type 2 diabetes. There's like something correlated with insulin with acne that if you that eating this way like can like help your diabetes and help acne. I don't know. I can't remember what the correlation is. I think it's insulin.
Since you've recovered, have you seen any of these dermatological experts? Have they seen you since the recovery? Ooh, you froze. Darn. Okay, if you guys can hear me, you're frozen. And what that means, come back.
Okay. Hear us now?
Okay, good. Woo, magic thing. I know.
Okay,
if that ever did happen, I would just hang up and call you back. But my question was, did the experts that treated you with the drugs and wanted to give you more drugs, have they seen you since your skin is clear and beautiful and recovered?
Yeah, I was just there like the other week picking up a moisturizer, and I walked in and they're like, "Wow, your skin's looking really good." I'm like, "Thanks."
Yeah, but did you tell them how you did it? Because why can't they be? And what did they poo-poo it, or are they going to tell their patients now?
They were like, "Oh yeah, like dairy and gluten."
There is some diet.
There is a correlation, but we're not taught about that. We're just taught about the pharmaceuticals.
So I kind of doubt that they'll teach it to anyone.
And they say like there is research being done about it, but we don't know. And I'm like, okay.
Right. Well, 500,000 people know because that's how many saw it. So they should be really following you, because those drugs they have horrible side effects,
Definitely. They wanted to give us a drug like since we didn't want to do birth control. It was to lower blood pressure, but for some reason it can help acne. But I guess as like a long-term side effect, it shrinks your brain. And we were like, why would you even recommend that? Like, why would you want that? Like, 20-year-old woman having their brain shrink.
That is and it's amazing, like you said, that we all do this for different reasons, but it in a way it is pretty much a one-size-fits-all, or at least a one-size-fits-most, because whether it's food addiction or obesity in my case, or acne in your case, or type 2 diabetes in someone else's case, or heart disease, we don't need a separate diet for each disease. We just need to eat the way Dr. Mcdougall has been saying for 40 years, a whole food, low-fat, plant-based diet without oil.
Some people actually say, like, don't you think that, each person needs a different diet? And I'm like, well, yeah, different things might work for different people, but, like, no, this diet will work for everyone. And I can honestly, like, full-heartedly say that it's the healthiest way to eat.
Absolutely, and as Dr. Mcdougall says, it never has not worked for people that do it. So you guys are great. I thank you so much for your time. You're just adorable, and I know who you are now. This is Randa. This is Nina. It took 15 years. If somebody, I think it was one of your aunts that just said, that was the trick, because I would always stare at you, and I'd be right 50% of the time. So Anyway, and I can see personalities are a little bit different too, and I know that if there's going to be raisins, it's Nina's food. That's how I'm going to look now. If there's raisins and figs and dates in it, it's Nina. You guys, last question, but this is just for fun. Did you guys ever used to try to trick people growing up? Did twins ever do that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I took some tests for Nina, for sure. Totally not legal, but we did.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool to be able to pull a spare you. So are most of your acting auditions and jobs are they looking for twins, or do you guys go to separate auditions?
Both. We do go on separate auditions, but mainly as twins. We work together because, we're better as a team.
Weren't you in a movie when you were babies? Your dad, was it Junior or some movie?
Yeah, Junior.
Wow, so you got your...
I can't remember it, though.
You got your start very, very young. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So last thing, anything you want to say to our viewers or your viewers if they're watching, or any just words of wisdom to inspire people that if they want to look and feel their best, like you, maybe it's time to think about making some dietary changes.
Okay, I would say my best advice is to not be afraid to do what you want to do. Not be afraid to love yourself, and whether that be through changing your diet and making a change, just not being afraid and fully going for it, because you have nothing to lose at the end of the day. Except for maybe some weight and maybe some self-esteem and
some acne. Yeah.
Some acne as well.
Right, great. Well, guys, you guys are adorable. Let me know when you want to get together, and I'd like to teach you how to make the pie, and I'd like your mom to teach me how to grill those onions on that cool machine she has. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Nina and Randa Nelson, and thank all of you guys for watching. I'm Chef AJ, and I make healthy taste delicious.